Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of an experiment. We're going to see if shiners are smart enough to escape a minnow trap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clear plastic tub. I'm going to add some well water to it. I'm going to give them an aerator so that they don't run out of any dissolved oxygen while they're in there. Pretty much set up the GoPro and see what happens. Alrighty guys, so for the first test what I did is I just took a normal G's minnow trap. I opened up the holes to about 1.5 inch openings. I added approximately 4 dozen, give or take, shiners. When I initially put it in there, what happened was a bunch of them went all sporadic and started jolting all over the place because obviously they were a little stressed out because of moving them. And a couple made it out. Since then, it's been about 20-25 minutes. So what I'm gathering from this first test is that about 11 shiners were able to make it out. What I want to do next is I want to take about a dozen large to extra large shiners, about as big as can fit through 1.5 inch hole. And I want to put them in the trap and then put them into this tank and see if they're able to escape. So I've given these larges and extra larges about the same amount of time inside of this trap. 2 out of 12 escaped on the larges and the extra larges, as opposed to 11 out of 48 on the smalls and mediums. That's a pretty good retention ratio on the larges. It just seems as though the smalls are able to make it out of those bigger holes a lot easier. So what I did was I switched over to the same style minnow trap. I don't think it's a G's, but it's very similar in structure. The only difference is now is that the holes are approximately 7/8 of an inch to 1 inch opening. And so far, I've seen only one get out. Much higher retention rate. There's approximately, 48 to 60 shiners in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these guys about enough time as I did with the other ones, and then we'll see the results. So pretty much what I'm seeing is that slowly they are trying to figure their way out of the trap. And we also have to remember though that there is really nothing in there to keep them entertained, and it's not in a natural environment. Pretty happy with the retention rates here. It seems as though they're not really figuring their way out too easily as a whole. So what I'm going to do last is I'm just going to take a whole ton of shiners. I'm going to put them back into that 1.5 inch hole opening trap. I'm going to pretty much do all smalls and mediums, and we're going to see the results of that. As you guys can see, adding a whole ton of shiners to the trap, it makes it kind of crazy in there. So I'm going to try and get them out. It's definitely letting out a lot more shiners than it was in the beginning. And from here, we'll come to a good conclusion. It definitely seems as though they're able to find their way out of the trap, but you also have to remember that they're going to be in nature. They're going to be a little less stressed out. They're going to have food in the trap to keep them entertained and busy. And as long as you check your traps regularly, I think that you're going to have great results. With a price point of $10 to $15, I would say just go to Walmart, pick up one of these traps, give it a shot. I think they work great. So overall, I'm going to say that the G's minnow trap is a winner. It seems as though you just have to match the hole size for the bait that you're after. If you want bigger baits, obviously you're going to have to open up those holes to as big as you're allowed to open them up to. If you want smaller baits, keep those holes just as they come from the factory. Feel free to subscribe. There's going to be more videos to come this spring.